Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. And today we're gonna be updating my Shop My Stash for June. So I'm gonna be sharing with you how many times I've used each of these products that I've put in this project last month, and if anything's changed or what I kind of noticed about these products. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this little update. And in case you're new here, hi, my name's Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love eyeshadows. I focus on panning and kind of rotating through my collection and being able to kind of use everything at least a little bit every single year, and maybe even hit pan and use up products. So that's kind of the gist of what I do here, and I do upload every single day. I'm trying to get to 1K by the end of the summer, or hopefully during summer. So if you could subscribe, it would really help me out. And now let's just jump right into the update. So first up, I had a blush here, and it was actually a combination of two eyeshadows that I'm trying to use up from palettes that I'm trying to completely use up and get rid of. So it's these two eyeshadows. It's the shade Ice Crystal from the Christmas Eve palette by Oden's Eye, and the shade Gingerbread by the Merry Christmas palette by Oden's Eye. As you can see, there's quite a lot of progress because this didn't have a pan and this had just like tiny little pan, if I remember that correctly from last month. And I've been able to use these 31 times. So I've used it every single day. There were a couple of days that I did my makeup twice for various videos, so I've been able to use it 31 times. I'm very proud of myself. It has been hard, but also I really like this because when you mix these two, it kind of creates this like beautiful peachy shade that's just very everyday, easy to use. And I actually have it on today as well, and it's beautiful. I love the way it looks, and it's very like neutral blush. So it's not like a bother to use it. It's just I would love to use something else as well. Then I have the Panorama mascara by L'Oreal that I've been focusing on, and this one had 13 uses when I rolled it in last month, and now it has 25. So I've used it 12 times, which is not a bad progress. And it's not my favorite mascara, but also it's not a bad mascara. I have it on today and it's fine. It's just like a basic, normal, good mascara. I don't need to buy it again, but also I'm not like angry at it or disappointed. And we have the Maybelline Superstay Concealer, which is a concealer that I want to completely use up this year. It's in my year-long project pan. And we went from 171 uses to 200 uses. So we were able to get to the 200 threshold, and I've been able to use it 29 times in a month. So quite happy about that as well. Then I have my Cleonat palette with my Cleonat singles, and I wanted to use at least every single one of them at least once, which I was able to do. It wasn't easy because I was kind of like struggling to remember to use it, but I was able to use them 12 times, and considering that there's 12 shades, yeah, I only used all of them once, but at least I've tried them, and I hope I'm gonna be able to use them a little bit more in the upcoming months as well. So that's for Cleonat. Then there was 4 shades from Touch of Glam Beauty that are currently in some of my duped palettes, so I'm not gonna show them to you, but essentially I only used one of the 4 shades, and I've used that shade twice, so I have 2 uses on that, and I have to still review the 3 other shades, so I wasn't very successful with that one. And then also there were Mika Beauty Shop shades, and I think there was 12 shades from Mika that I wanted to try. I tried most of them in my recent dupe. There was the Seahorse dupe, but unfortunately I wasn't able to use all of them for that palette, so there are still a couple new shades from Mika that I haven't tested yet, but I'm going to in the next couple days because I have a couple other duped palettes dupes ready for you. So the Makeup Beauty Shop, I was able to use 10 shades, each of them one time. So we have 10 uses for that. Then there were two primers that I thought I'm gonna use up, but I actually wasn't able to because there's still a little bit of product. One of them is the Wet n Wild Megalast eyeshadow primer that I've used 33 times in the last month. Sometimes I would do my makeup twice in a day for various videos, so that's why it's a little bit more than the number of days. But yeah, 33 times, and there's still a little bit product left, but I do have to really squeeze, so it doesn't have too much use in there, hopefully. And then it was the NYX glitter primer, which I've used 34 times. And yeah, I think you can see that it's very low on the product, but still not completely done. And then I have one palette and one eyeshadow. So the palette is the Lord of the Rings palette, or the Middle Earth palette by Glamline, which I wanted to use more to be able to haul it soon. I still have a couple days before I'm gonna film my haul, and that's good because I wasn't actually able to use it all that many times, and there are still a lot of shades that I have to use at least once, hopefully, before the haul. But the Lord of the Rings palette, I had 3 uses. I just finished my initial review with it when I rolled it in, and now it has 8 uses. So I was able to use it 5 times, and I was able to use a couple of the, especially the matte shades. I haven't really touched the shimmers too much, so I have to focus on them in the next couple of days and in the next like 2 weeks probably. And then there was one shade that I was kind of using as a brow shade before I started using something else that I also want to pan. But I was focusing on the shade Softly, which is from the Christmas Eve palette by Oden's Eye, and I'm using that in my brows today as well. But the shade Softly, we went from 55 uses to 69 uses, so I've used it 14 times, and the pan expanded quite nicely, and I'm definitely getting some good progress on it, and I would love to use it more. But it's from the Christmas Eve palette, and I'm trying to kind of focus on shades that are from my Merry Christmas palette first, because that one has a higher potential to be used up by the end of the month, by the end of summer. So you know, I'm just kind of prioritizing just to be able to tell that I've completely like used up a palette again. But I still think it's a really nice progress. Like, I use the blush every single day, the 2 primers every single day, the concealer almost every single day. And when it comes to eyeshadows, obviously we had a lot of single eyeshadows, but in total all the eyeshadows and the use on the Middle Earth palette, when you count it all up, it's 44 uses. So I still try to use them every single day, or somewhat of every single day, at least one of those things, and that makes me very happy. You know, it's not the most progress, like I usually have better progress or a lot more numbers to share, but still I think it's a really nice accomplishment. And I've been kind of focusing a lot on panning last month. I think I've panned like 10 shades, like I had a pan on 10 shades in my eyeshadows, and I've used up 2 eyeshadows completely. So I was doing a lot. You can check my eyeshadow bank update, which is the latest video after this. I've been earning a lot of points, so I've also been spending a lot of points. So if you want to see that, check it out. I will link it in the little card. But that's everything for today. Overall, I think this was a very successful month, and I hope next month's gonna be even better. Let me know how you're doing with whether with your project pans or your eyeshadow collection uses and usage, and obviously your makeup collection as well. But that's gonna be everything for today. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another video.